Hi, my name is Andrew Rodriguez and I'm with the Dallas markets, and you've probably been wondering what's going on with the Dallas markets. We've been shut down since October 26th, and there's been a lot of terrible things that have been said online and some even locally. There's been all sorts of crazy rumors, and this has been an extremely tough time. And I want to tell you a lot, but one of the things I want to tell you is I've gotten through this so much more gracefully, all because of God. And one of the chapters that sticks out the most that has helped me through all this is Psalms 27. If you're not familiar with it, you should check it out. What I want to tell you today is the city of Dallas has been engaging in illegal activity and abuse of power. They have been doing this for nearly 2.5 years. They have cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars in unnecessary expenses and millions of dollars in lost revenue and the jobs and what we could have done for this community. It's a tragedy that they've done this. So allegedly they have us shut down for safety. Let's go talk about that. The city of Dallas is trying to deceive people and make them think that an engineer has come out to the property and said that something is unsafe. If you look at public records and you go look at the engineer letter, you can download that and review it, and you will see a letter, but it's not from an engineer. It's from an architect that is newly licensed, and he's a great guy, but he's not qualified to review and make these assertions, which I'm going to go through. And I mean all the best in the world for him. I don't want any trouble for him. But a lot of what was in this letter was wrong. This letter that the city of Dallas isn't showing you is a stamped, engineered letter from David White, who has many, many years of experience as a structural engineer. And as you can see, he says that there's no problem with it. Let's go take a look at it. So here at the Dallas markets, we have our fire suppression up to code. Everything's tagged in. And then right here, we got this panel. It says Building 3 Transformer. And when you open it, there's no fuses in there. Now, let's take a walk back to Building 3. This is where we have not allowed anybody to go in. There was never any safety issue. Here we are entering into the hallway of what is being called the bunker. That'd be a great bar name or a club. This is what was called a bunk room. As you can see, there's still lights on in here, even though there's no fuses. And that's because this is a pre-existing electrical system that has nothing to do what has been labeled as a potentially hazardous electrical system. This was all done by licensed electricians. Everything was done to code. Everything is beautiful. And as you can see, the lights are on, but the panel is not. This is that giant transformer. You can touch it. You can feel that it's not running. There's no humming. There's no buzzing. Out here, this is what was called diesel fuel tanks. It's water. You can drink it. This right here is where the generator was that was labeled as permanently fixed to the building. It was not. The generator is on wheels. I have no way to fix it to the building. It has changeable exhaust options, so it could be vented outside. But it was never fixed to the building, and it was never turned on, and it was never a safety hazard. Let's talk about that illegal septic system and drain field. We can walk over here to where the bathroom was going to be, and you can see that it was never finished. So that means nothing has ever gone into the drain field or the septic tank. So this should really be an easy problem to resolve. Let me apply for a permit, and then it won't be illegal. Whoa, whoa. Hey. Why didn't you just do things right the first time and get a permit before you started doing all this? I'm glad you asked that. I did try to get a permit. I've been trying to get permits for almost 2 years. I've had other contractors try to get permits. I wanted to get solar on top of this building, and the contractor tried to apply for that back in September, and Preston Kilgore from the city of Dallas wouldn't even accept the application for it to review, because he said that another property that I own here in the city of Dallas has a stop work order, which, by the way, this property has had a stop work order on it for nearly 2 years, and I believe that they applied that to it illegally also. We'll make a whole nother video about that. Oh, so you mean that you had a stop work order on the property where you just did all this work that you got in trouble, right? Absolutely not. So almost 2 years ago, I got a stop work order on 147 Victory Drive. The property that we're talking about right now is 398 West Memorial Drive, and they're not owned by the same company. One property is the Dallas Markets, and one is an empty warehouse that I've never been able to really use other than just for junk storage. And you know, it's a 25,000 square foot building, and I haven't been able to make revenue off of it for, I think I've owned it for almost 2 years. So let's talk about that what I'm alleging is an illegal stop work order. So what I find online says that you're allowed to open up property, and I say open up, I mean disturb land up to 1 acre. The city of Dallas is claiming it's 5,000 square feet, not 1 acre, even though it's what I can read on the city ordinances. Okay, fine. So I have, I think, 4 properties out there. They all intersect. I should be allowed to open up under 5,000 square feet on multiple properties. Well, no. 2 years ago, when they gave me the stop work order, we had a little bit of land opened up on multiple properties because we were just smoothing things out and moving some dirt. And they came over and slapped him with a stop work order. And they've done everything they can to make sure since then that I cannot resolve that stop work order, so that I cannot legally continue to grow my business and develop this property that I've bought here in Dallas. Oh. So why do you think they're doing that to you? I'll tell you why. I think it's jealousy. I think it's some bad employees. And I went to the city hall meeting in July, and I let the city council and mayor know that this stuff was going on and that it was a big problem and that I didn't have a way to resolve it or move forward. And they promised that they were going to look into it. They said that some other people were having similar issues and that there was a city employee meeting coming up, and we promise that we will get right back to you. You're an important person to us. Like the Dallas Markets is important to us. It has been 6 months, maybe 5, whatever. It's been way too long. Nobody's gotten back to me about it. And you know, this is what happens. Like if you illegally deny me permits and you do everything you can to prevent me from growing my business and feeding my family and feeding my vendors, what am I supposed to do? All right, so you think this is all just because of some bad employees? Well, no, actually, I think it's a lot more involved than that. I think it is because I'm not part of the good old boy club. I think it is because they are trying to do an LCI project. They have bought up a bunch of the land and businesses and properties here in Dallas. They bought homes that people were living in and bulldozed them instead of bringing in revenue and not having to raise the taxes here in Dallas. They just bulldoze the houses, and we've got empty lots sitting around that we have to pay the people to maintain, and instead of having an income, we have an outcome. I'll give you a quick timeline. So we got shut down October 26th, and after a few days, I was told through the city marshal that the city attorney said for me to go hire an attorney to communicate with them, and basically they stopped communicating with me. The mayor stopped answering my text messages. I went to see the city manager, and allegedly he was not there, and he never returned. I was there. I left a message that I wanted to meet with him and speak with him. He never returned that. So I hired a lawyer, Joel Larkin, on November 2nd, I think it was, and he did everything he could to help me resolve the situation peacefully, And at the end, by the time I had exhausted my retainer, he came to the same conclusion that I did, that they were jerking us around and he didn't know why, and it didn't make any sense. And, I have heard privately from people that know people on the council and the mayor and the city manager that they have no intention of returning our business license. So this is plan B. Let's keep talking about that. So October 26th, they took our business license with no citations, no reason given. They just showed up after a construction meeting and told everybody to get out of the building. And we did not get any citations, no notice of why we were shut down until November 13th. That is 18 days. That is going on 3 weeks. Shut down. I don't think that's legal. I don't think that's constitutional. I don't think it's right to do. And allegedly it's for safety. We have nothing unsafe out here. This is a beautiful property and I haven't done anything unsafe. This is just a continuation of illegal activity intended to keep us from developing our property. We didn't even get our violations until November 13th, but I've got a voicemail that was left by the mayor for one of my vendors around November 4th, advising her that she should leave my business and go find someplace else to earn an income, because he expected it was going to be about 3 months for us to be able to reopen. And I'm sure that some other people have some voicemails or emails, text messages. I don't understand why other people knew what was going on and I didn't. I don't understand why other people were being told I was going to be shut down for 3 months even before I was issued a single violation for this property. Well, listen, I get where you're coming from, but rules are rules. You broke the law and you got a bunch of violations, and those violations mean that they can take your business license, and that's just tough. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. We got 4 violations, and only one of them allows them to take our business license. And that violation was for disturbing land without a land disturbance permit. And we only disturbed 1,760 square feet or something like that. But the law allows me to disturb anything under 5,000 square feet without obtaining a land disturbance permit. It was not correct to issue me that ticket. It was not correct to take my business license. It was not correct to shut me down and not tell me why. It is not correct for me to not be open tomorrow. It is not correct for me to not be able to feed my family or all my vendors. All right, so this is the really short video version. I think I'm going to have to make a lot of videos. I don't really want to. I would have loved to resolve all this peacefully. All I want to do is be allowed to use my property and be treated like everybody else and be able to earn an income and put food on the table for my family and my vendors. And that's not what's happening here. So this is plan B. Tomorrow, Monday, there is a meeting at the city council, and I will be there, and I have more things to say, and I'm going to have to make more videos, but I think it is horrible what has happened and how we have been treated and what this city management has done to the city. There's been so many businesses that have failed over and over and over again in the downtown, and I have to wonder, what don't I know about that? Because I know what has happened to us. They are using illegal stop work orders on our other properties to prevent us from developing. What did they do to other people?